I have 5 demands. 5 demands which I would urge the Honorable Finance Minister to copy from our manifesto.
Former Finance Minister had said, I've got 5 questions for which I want the Finance Minister to answer. And the 5 questions pertain to minimum wages, legal guarantee, education loan waiver, abolition of Agniveer, scrapping of NEET. I just want to give a very quick response to each one of these points.
We demand that a minimum wage of 400 rupees per day for every kind of employment. We demand a legally guaranteed MSP.
Sir, I think he is talking about Manrega Act and through which declare a minimum wage of 400. I just want to highlight on that presumption that Manrega Act of 2005, sir, Section 6(1) of the Act says, notwithstanding anything contained in the Minimum Wages Act 1948, the central government may, by notification, specify the wage rate for the purposes of the Act. It says that. And says, provided, that's a proviso, provided that different rates of wages may be specified for different areas. I also think probably because it was mentioned in the Congress manifesto, I'm a bit hazy on it, but his demand was 400 rupees per day minimum wage. Why won't you want to declare it? So I want to highlight, sir, the Rural Development Ministry, which deals with Manrega, since UPA time, has been declaring the minimum wage, and these are decided based on changes in the CPI-AL, that is Consumer Price Index Agricultural Labor, which reflects inflation in rural areas. It's based on that every year some kind of a notification comes. This has been the practice since 2005 to 2014. Our government has also followed the same principle. What prevented the UPA from notifying a uniform wage rate under the Manrega when it was in power? They didn't do it then. But now, if he is quoting the Manrega Act and demanding that Government of India declare 400 rupees as minimum wage, I would want to also highlight, and I'm sure being a legal mind, he would be aware of this nuance. The Minimum Wages Act of 1948 also empowers the states to fix minimum wages with respect to categories, various categories of employment, unskilled employment, and so on. So in the states, minimum wages are again fixed differently for different states. Just as Government of India also fixes minimum wages for railways or the mines or many other things which come under its subject. For example, sir, I'm taking the example of Karnataka. State government notifies 4 different zones to fix minimum wages for unskilled workers. Zone 1 is for Bangalore city and the city corporation area. Zone 2 is for district headquarters and in the various districts, and so on. In the state of Himachal Pradesh, I would like to draw your attention, sir. In the state of Himachal Pradesh, as per the latest notification, or latest in this subject, which was issued in May 23, it was issued by the state government that unskilled wage earners will get a 375 rupees minimum wage. If wages are to be fixed by different states at different levels and for even within a state different zones, it's difficult to think of how the central government can fix a wage of 400 rupees and also say, therefore, it should be done for the entire country.
We demand a write-off of the unpaid balance of interest or installment of educational loans given up to March 2024.
So we have already announced measures for education loans in this budget for helping our youth who have not been eligible for any benefit under government schemes or policies. We have announced a financial support of 10 lakh for higher education within the country. E-vouchers for this purpose will be given directly to 1 lakh students every year for an annual interest subvention of 3% to the loan amounts.
We demand the abolition, complete abolition of the Agnipath and NEET scheme.
Former Finance Minister has served as also former Home Minister. I'm sure he understands the nuance involved in national security. In countries like the US and the UK, soldiers are required to render only 2 of the 6 years in service because they want to keep the young, fit, and agile person at the borders. I hope on matters related to the fitness and battle readiness of the Indian Army or the armed forces, we don't do politics, sir, because it is something which is going to be critical for this country. We need young, fit, and battle-ready young people who are going to be trained. So, Agniveer is a scheme which we brought in with great sense of commitment to keep our armed forces battle-ready. And young and fit people get into the army, and I don't think there's a need for us to unnecessarily worry that this is causing some kind of a distortion. Not at all. It is with the acceptance of the armed forces that it has been brought in.
We demand that NEET be scrapped, and if some states want to keep NEET, exempt all other states which don't want NEET.
Abolition of NEET, I'm afraid to say, was triggered even before the leak issue came up. When was NEET notified? In 2010, December 2010, with its implementation. Who was leading the implementation at that time? It was led by the then DMK Minister Gandhi Selvan, who served as MOS for Health and Family Welfare as part of the Congress-led UPA 2 government. So it was brought at that time. UPA in 2012, the UPA 2.0 introduced NEET undergraduate for medical examinations as well, medical admissions. And 2013, the first exam took place. All during UPA 2013, the exam took place. When the Gazette notification of 20th December 2010 was challenged in the Supreme Court, both the lawyers of the Medical Council of India and UPA's Additional Solicitor General of India defended NEET, saying this was an effort to streamline the admission process. ASG then stated that the earlier system of multiple examinations was neither in the national interest nor in the interest of maintaining the standards of medical education, nor did it serve the interest of the poor middle-class students who had to buy forms of several examinations and travel across the country to appear in the examination. 2011, when the DMK rule concluded, Tamil Nadu had just 1,945 medical seats. Presently, there are 10,425 medical seats, a remarkable surge of 8,480 seats in the past 11 years. Sir, therefore, NEET has ensured cost-effective medical education for families. Certainly, it has hurt some vested interests, particularly those in the medical education field, because no longer selling of medical seats is possible. And therefore, it has hurt a lot of people. That is why a particular lobby was actively against NEET even before this NEET leak issue has come up.